Mahazia wahiala, wahiala, zinya mehosaya. Mahazia wahiala, wahiala, zinya mehosaya.
conference on computer vision, high performance computing, smart devices and networks. CHSN 2021 by Department of Computer Science and Engineering on 20th 21st August 2021. Principal focus of the conference is to encourage the enthusiasm among researchers, academicians and the scientists of premier research laboratories across the globe to submit and present the basic and applied work in various specialized fields like communication engineering, information theory, signal image and speech processing, wireless and mobile communication, Internet of Things and cyber security, etc. The main objective of the conference is to bring researchers together onto a common platform to acquire the knowledge, discuss and share the emerging trends which help in achieving the best results. Hence, I solemnly invite all to the inaugural session of CHSN 2021. Now, I invite Professor D. Harita, Head of the Department, CSE, UCEK, JNTUK Convener, CHSN 2021 onto the dais.
Madam, please, madam, please.
I invite Professor L. Pratap Reddy, Professor, JNTUK Hyderabad and Conference Chair, CHSN 2021 onto the dais.
Madam, please, madam.
Now, I invite guest of honor, Professor V. Balakrishna, Principal, University College of Engineering, JNTUK Kakinada, onto the dais.
Madam, please, madam. Thank you.
I invite guest of honor, Professor G.V.R. Prasad Raju, Rector, JNTUK Kakinada, onto the dais.
Madam, please, madam. Thank you.
Now, I invite special guest Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar, Chief Coordinating Officer, AICTE, New Delhi, onto the dais.
Sir, please. Thank you.
I invite Chief Guest of today's event, Professor K. Hemachandra Reddy, Chairman, Andhra Pradesh State Council of Higher Education, onto the dais.
Madam, please. Thank you.
It's time to seek blessings from the Lord Almighty, to shower blessings. Let's stand for a prayer song.
कुंडाय गौरी तनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचंद्राय श्री गणेशाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचंद्राय श्री गणेशाय धीमहि.
Light is the symbol of wisdom.
Sir, Babushi. Sir, please, sir. Sir, कुछ दे, madam. మేడం మేడం ఒకసారి సార్ ఓకే సార్ బాలకృష్ణ మేడం కొంచెం థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Minutes silence, which is the expression for silent prayer in the remembrance and respect for Dr. C.H. Satyanarayana Garu.
కాటను ఆనకట్టలు బంధుపూరి సంస్కరణల స్మరణ జయ 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 నిత్యావని కృష్ణ తీరపు ధాన్యాగారం గుంటూరు పంటల ధన వ్యాపారం రంగుటూరి ప్రకాశమాచయం యశోని శారద కుశోదయం జయ 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 విద్యావని లక్ష్యముతో క్రమశిక్షణతో సత్యాసత్య విచక్షణతో అక్షర లక్షణ దక్షిణతో ఆంధ్రవనికే రక్షణ నీవు జయ 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 విద్యావని జయ 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 జయంతియు కాకినాడ జయ 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 జయంతియు కాకినాడ జయ 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 జయంతియు కాకినాడ.
Professor D. Harita, convener, CHSN-2021, to address the gathering.
Thank you, Savita. Today's chief guest of this function, Professor K. Hemachandra Reddy Garu, special guest Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar Garu, guest of honors Professor G.V. Prasad Raj Garu, Professor B. Balakrishna Garu, conference chair Professor L. Pratap Reddy Garu, university officials, colleagues, research scholars, participants, fresh officials and students. I am honored and take pride to welcome all for this second international conference on computer vision, high performance computing, smart devices and networks. August 2nd was very sad day for all of our scholars. It is really a shocking news that our sir was not no more. Though sir was not with us, but the sir predictions are always with us. This conference is creating a platform for the industrials, professionals, researchers and students to share and express their views and simultaneously gain knowledge on the innovative and advanced technologies in engineering. Last year on December 28th and 29th, we conducted first international conference on CHSN 2020. Though it was a tough time due to COVID-19 pandemic situation, we successfully conducted CHSN 2020. We received 140 papers in CHSN 2020. Among them, we selected only 20% of paper for presentation. Same standards are continuing for this year also. For CHSN 2021, we received 320 papers from research scholars who are from reputed universities in India and abroad. In order to maintain quality, we selected only 20% of papers from among the 320 papers. Only 64 papers are for the presentation. Last year, we published in IOP proceedings. For the CHSN 2021, we are able to publish conference publications with Springer. Conference is for networking. So we are networking with the people from the foreign universities and from various reputed universities in India. From maintaining standards of this conference, we invited 4 keynote speakers from reputed foreign universities of various countries like France, Taiwan, Malaysia and Sweden. Same standards will be continued and maintained for the upcoming CHSN conferences by our research scholars. Hope this conference will provide tools and knowledge to overcome significant problems appearing in our industry and society by identifying innovative ideas and technologies shared by the researchers and students. Hope every one of you utilize this opportunity and get benefit out of this. Thank you one and all.
Now I will invite our Guru of Gurus, Honorable Conference Chair, General Chair, Chair Pratap Reddy Saru, to address the gathering. Sir, he is Guru of Gurus.
Dignitaries on the dais, Chief Guest M. Chandra Reddy garu, and an important guest, Dr. Buddha Prasad garu, my friend and my associates, university official, he's close friend of mine also, Prasad Raj, Principal Balu Krishna, and Harita, my dear colleagues. It is indeed unexpected for me. I am just conference chair. The general chair is not among us. The general chair is expected to deliver provide some inputs to all of us. And in his absence, in the present society, I am forced to share certain important components of this conference. Let me, I'm rather indeed proud, very much proud, to have my first scholar, Dr. Sachinarayana, my first scholar. Today, the conference on computer vision, high performance computing, smart devices and networks, the title I am talking about, evolution of the title started somewhere around 2004. It did not happen on the spot. It is through practice. I wanted to share the practice, how the evolution took place. This university in 90s, when I joined, is a college named as JNTUK College of Engineering, Kakinada. To be frank enough, the practice in this college resembles a school. I have seen teachers, faculty members, I call it as lecturers, professors, associate professors or readers, explaining to the students 3 times in a class in English, in local language, again in a simplified English. It is rather a training, I don't say training, it is a teaching institution. More care will be taken in Kakinada College of Engineering towards students. It's not just an engineering students, but a school culture. That is the kind of environment that I have seen in this university, in this college. Our dreams are this college or this school should be transformed into university is our dream. It means that there should be stages in which it has to be transformed. The transformation is not that easy. The transformation has seen a lot of difficulties. The first difficulty that we faced, a university should stand for striving for truth, accepting the truth through practice. That's the toughest job. And that toughest job has to be seen only through research orientation. From teaching to research, a shift is the toughest job. And that tough period we have faced. That's the reason it's my privilege to discuss those points. I'll tell you, when we started our research in 2003-04, what research we have to take up? The first initial days that we discussed on how biometrics can be implemented with the help of a face recognition technique, algorithm. That is what Dr. Satyanarayana has attempted. Remember, if you try to look at the so-called earlier research in good journals, maybe from Science Direct or from elsewhere, from Springer, or from ACM, or from IEEE, and most of these journals, the practice correlated with the face data sets evolved from higher learning institutions. The question started, if we wanted to do research in that area, can't we have our own face database? This is the question. In 2003 and 2004, yes, we did it. We created our own face database. We know that there are limitations. Those limitations are minor, we have proved. The changes in illumination will not have much impact on the practical implementation of eigenface approach. It is not going to have a huge amount of variation, but what it's going to have huge amount of variation is the face features. This is the first proof that we made in 2007 in a Springer journal again. This is the first attempt that we made in 2006-07. I still remember the days to prove that what is the struggle that we have faced. People accepted that why can't standard data sets be used? Yes, the question has to be answered. Why only standard data sets? Why not? We create our own data sets. We answer the question. It's a long process, I agree. Long struggle, I agree. But we answered it. Yes, this is where Satyanarayana and myself, along with our few friends, we stood. We proved it. Remember, the days in which we have proved this concept is, at that time, a blame on Satyanarayana thesis that it's plagiarized. We have to prove it, struggle to show that in this institution research can be done. Is that a simple thing? Yes, we have shown. Look at his entire career. Do you know how many research Yes, they have mentioned about 25 research scholars. What kind of work has been done? Why come for the conference? It is his practice. Remember, his whatever he produced, as far as the thesis are concerned, I just named some of them. He did not stop face recognition. Remember, today, face recognition algorithms have been used in practical implementation in Rajiv Gandhi International Airport on Indian face database. I am 100% sure the work is initiated, coined in 2007. We may not have resulted in a product, but we have initiated the approach for it. He never stopped that. He continued his research in the same area. Do you know what extensions that he did? Why face recognition to be limited to face? Why can't it extend to emotions? Today, emotional recognition is going to be one of the important parameters to identify or rather characterize 360 degrees profiling of individuals. Today, emotions are also playing an important role. Remember, emotions with smileys is the one which is being communicated today. But emotions through video, identifying emotions in a real time is one of the important areas which is going to happen in the research, in the future context. This is where computer vision comes into picture. This is where his thesis will be a starting point again. I don't say that his starting point, at least a starting point in JNTUK department. He has thesis worked on, his students worked on emotions, biometrics, especially it is not parameters like iris and face. Also can be used parameters like texture, skin. Many things are there. He worked in those areas. Remember, one of the biggest problems in computer vision or other image processing is the dimensionality problems. Actually, he worked on dimensionality reduction issues, models. This is how you look at his entire research scholar's thesis. He intruded into biomedical imaging, brain tumors, present-day concepts like convolutional neural networks. Today's deep learning algorithms have been spreading into everywhere. He never stopped at face recognition. He intruded into those areas. Interesting point which I observed, which we had discussed rather, object detection is one. Very few people use this because avionics applications, defense applications are the one which are prominently using object recognition. He has two theses produced on object recognition. Interesting area, image retrieval. Another area, he actually produced two research theses in it. I am doubtful about one thing. Okay, these are all things people will do. But what is something unique? There is one unique thesis in his work, in his production. Working on CUDA platform. That is really an important component. NVIDIA graphics has developed CUDA platform exclusive for the purpose of image processing and display. Wavelet transformations, how it impacts on the CUDA platform, the purpose of image processing, image computation is one thesis which he produced. I really admired. I feel that he is my student at that time. Definitely he is my student. Satyanarayana has been discussed in various factors in the university. No, he has something else in his mind. Something else, there are discussions that are going on. I wanted to reveal those discussions. That's why I'm mentioning these aspects. Another important aspect, I argued with him on multiple occasions, image compression has lost its sanctity. But he says, no, there is something else in image compression. Today, yes, because megapixels has gone out, terapixels are coming up. When you come back to the place of terapixels, gigapixels and terapixels, image compression is necessary at that time. It's not that easy to look at image compression from the standpoint of JPEG 200, JPEG or JPEG 2000. No, it should be seen from a different perspective. Yes, he initiated some amount of work in that area. I have another question as far as the title is concerned. Why we need to use high performance computing? When actually certain amount of work he started doing it, he understood that high performance computing is necessary in the recent areas like text processing. Imagine when you start looking at text processing and combined with CNN, combined with deep learning algorithms, the computational methods are not small. You look at today, Kaggle. Kaggle is a website which provides computations on deep learning algorithms. Today, the platforms which are being used for the purpose of deep learning applications are exclusively the high performance computing systems in cloud. Future universities should possess at least 1 or 2 high performance computing devices, systems here. Maybe you purchase in the form of GPUs, put them in cluster, or purchase in the form of 30 to 40 CPUs with GPU combination in such a way that the direction that was provided for the scholars from such an arena will continue. Text processing, it's not just what you say, removal of end words or something like that. It is something else beyond that. Classification of documents, emerging huge amount of documents, classification of documents as clusters is one more area which he attempted. This is an interesting area. He also guided certain areas in communication and security. This is where networks comes into picture. His practice. Echo cancellation, he guided one scholar in that. Multipath transmission in hybrid networks, another research he guided. Information security he guided in intrusion detection, the area of intrusion detection. This is where networks come into picture. Communication networks are same. Once LTE come into picture, I think there is no analog networks that exist. Today, you use any mobile. The mobile comes with either VoLTE or LTE. Maybe the starting point is Geo, doesn't matter. But every mobile is going to provide that. It means that the earlier method of communication is slowly shifting into digital communication through IP. And in such context, networks are going to be the future. A lot of work is to be done. If you look at the recent period, 700 terabytes of data transmission on different cables. Testing is going on towards that. Yes, networks are going to be important. Finally, smart devices. Why you need smart devices? Yes, changing in the form of IoT and all. Interestingly, he guided 2 scholars in 2 different areas. Scheduling and multi-core is one area, and then clustering architecture in the software domain on hardware is another area. Interesting. These are all different kinds of areas which led to the smart devices. Not stopped here. There are 2 more theses. We had a discussion. I had a close discussion on these 2 specifically. One is on factors that led to obesity. Interesting. Diversified. Yes, agreed. And his close interaction, that is land use and land cover. How do we extract land use and land cover? With the help of optical remote sensing, which is something different. His academic research approach is a long, heterogeneous condition. And this heterogeneous condition, I don't think that many of you have seen. Very small cross-section of people have seen that. It's my privilege to discuss those points. Future, starting in Kakinada, should be this. We have 2 discussions. It never ended till last year. My question is, I'm in JNTUK Hyderabad at that point of, even today. My question, I think I have some of colleagues, my question always say that, even I used to argue with Hemchandra Reddy, does the engineering education should be transformed from the curriculum development and curriculum issues, one argument which I used to have it, or shall it transform with the help of inculcating research culture? Difficult to say that. Still, we have our own arguments kept with us. But what Satyanarayana did, he started his work. He started his work in Kakinada, JNTUK Kakinada. And that starting point is CHSN 2020. Extension is 2021. I still remember a national conference, conducting a national conference in 1990s itself is a tough job. I still remember 98, 99, Professor Visweswara Rao and myself conducted a national conference in ECE department, in the ECE Gallery Hall. That is the first national conference in JNTUK Kakinada. I don't say University Kakinada, I will say the College of Engineering Kakinada. And the first international conference conducted in this same place last year. What I want is a rollout model. No person of discussions. Practice. Satyanarayana has to be seen. The general chair of this conference has to be seen from practice, not through words. He is always looking from the practice. The whole problem with general chair is we need people visualize him from practice, not from his words. I found many people talking many things because I have a lot of association with this institution, with this land. I have grown up here as a faculty, as a teacher, as a researcher. I know what this land is. I know people talking about, commenting about general chair, but what I request you all is look at him from the perspective of what his contribution is. His contribution towards research is enormous. Classify them, understand them. Last year, there is one consolidated abstracts or other publications which was released from his students. I agree with that. But if you look at them as in isolation, very difficult for us to understand. Understand them through a holistic approach. Then that gives us a raise. What could be the direction? Remember, three important components that's going to change the whole world. Number one, Industrial Revolution 4.0, we are entering, but 5.0 is coming. Are we transforming ourselves towards that or not? Industrial Revolution 4.0 is tied up with this conference. With the title of this conference, let us do practice. We can do that. We can think of Industrial Revolution 5.0 can be a definite path for us. And I want JNTUK Kakinada to stand, contribute something. It is not alone. He is there, yes, but he started. We need to think about a rollout model. The rollout model from the perception of what the research is, what the research avenues are, and how the culture has to be built. And this is what I thought of sharing with all of you. It is a really sad occasion for me as an individual. It's a loss, no doubt about it. Loss for all of us. Loss for me exclusively. Because majority of you doesn't know that we used to have heated discussions on these issues. Heated discussions on the issues related to how an institution, a university, should stand towards propagating, sharing knowledge in open domain. The whole argument is going on, it went on between myself and the general chair and with some of the colleagues. How we can translate this kind of a work towards knowledge sharing. What we do as teachers is to share the knowledge. What we have, the power in our hand is do research, publish them, but still share. Irrespective of the controls that were imposed on us in the form of publishers, still we can share. So the arguments are not just limited to 1, 2, 3, 4, but the arguments are expanded towards how the future should look like. This is what I thought sharing with all of you. I'm sure it's not just researchers, scholars alone. I'm sure it is the responsibility of this university, understand the contribution of the General Chair, take it forward, set on salient points, don't stop here. Let us not stay here. I try to end with a simple word. If you wanted a bright future, we are forced to craft it. We have to craft it. If we stay back, lay back, we are forced to stay back in a dark future. We have to decide upon whether we want a bright future or we stay back in the dark future. Thank you all for the opportunity given to me.
Thank you, sir, for sharing the information about CHSN 2021 and enlighten us regarding the need of the hour of research. Now, I request the guest of honor, Professor B. Balakrishna, sir, Principal, UCEK, JNTUK, to address the gathering.
Good morning, all of you. Dignitaries on the dais, special chief guest of today's function, CHSN 2021, Professor K. M. Chandra Reddy Garu, Chairman, Andhra Pradesh State Council of Higher Education. Special guest, Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar Garu, Chief Coordinating Officer, AICT Delhi. And Dr. Pratap Reddy Garu, Professor JNTUK Hyderabad, and Director Professor Prasad Raj Garu, and convener of this program, Dr. Harita, and after that, my fellow colleagues, and EC member Durga Bhavani Garu, and the participants, and print and electronic media. Good morning once again. This program I started in the last year, in the month of December. And as rightly said by Professor Pratap Reddy Garu, the first international conference is started in this auditorium in the history of JNTUK Kakinada. Of course, my association with Satyanarayana, almost from 2000. Initially, I am from JNTU Hyderabad, but because of Satyanarayana, I opted to Kakinada. I hope the scholars of Satyanarayana to continue this program further. Thank you all.
For sharing the information. Now, I request the guest of honor, Professor G.V.R. Prasad Raju, sir, Rector, JNTUK, Kakinada, to address the gathering.
So welcome to all for the International Conference on Computer Vision, High Performance Computing, Smart Devices and Networks. And the name itself is coined, as you know, computer stands for C and High Performance H, and Smart Device and Networks SN, CHSN, C.H. Satyanarayana. Last year also conducted very successfully, and this year also definitely it is a success. Only thing is we are missing Satyanarayana. Sorrowful incident, unforgettable, and it is impossible to digest. I have a lot of association with him. He called me Anagaru. And definitely it is a loss, personal loss to me, and to the family, and to the friends, and to the university. Still we are unable to digest. Whenever we enter into the university, his smiling face, his friendly nature, his helping hand, it is highly difficult for anybody to forget. You have a great love and affection. I and Satyanarayana Garu, we used to call Professor Hamsetti Garu the same phone, and get of love and affection and honor to Hamsetti Garu. Lot of times, number of times. Sir antuntaru em jantuko eduru vacharu kada. Number of times. Earlier, before, except the last visit, and before the last visit, I met, I and Satyanarayana Garu, we met all the officers and Hamsetti Garu and all these things. During the last visit, I alone visited Hamsetti Garu and other officers. They were asking about Satyanarayana Garu, and really it is highly difficult to digest and imagine such a situation. Very young and talented person at the age of 48. It is highly difficult, and the personal feelings are really upset. And around 25 students, scholars are there, and lot of future and lot of everything is there, but it is unforgettable incident. And the person behind the conference, even while performing duties of registrar some time back, he used to inform me that we have a conference this year also, and he wanted to invite to Annagaru, Hamsetti Garu, and also the ACT, the top persons, Buddha Garu. And we are extremely happy that because of the memory and affection towards Satyanarayana Garu, our Hamsetti Garu would make it the function, and also the Buddha Chandrasekhar Garu. We are really honored, sir, with our presence. And the problem behind the conference, not only Satyanarayana Garu and entire compliance department headed by Madam Harita Garu, head of compliance department, and Madam Sumlata is there, and we have Bhavani Madam is also here. And the Pratap Reddy, the guide to Professor Satyanarayana, and he has a lot of affection and regard to Pratap Reddy. And even Pratap Reddy, he rang me a number of times and see that Satyanarayana is comfortable. Definitely Satyanarayana is comfortable, and not only he is comfortable, he makes others also comfortable. Definitely this is a great loss personally, and definitely whatnot. And Professor Alam Paragaru also, the man with vision and courage, and he is a person, he is also greatly have a lot of affection towards his own student, Professor Satyanarayana. And Balkrishna is a good friend to Satyanarayana Garu, and also a lot of friends are there because and Alam Paragaru and senior persons, and we have Abhay, and here all other persons are there, and his own student Raj Kumar, and the other good friends, Professor Vijay Kumar and Dr. Dakshinamurthy Garu, and really we have a very great, and we have Venkatesh is here, and Ramesh, and all friendly persons to Satyanarayana Garu. And the Hamsetti Garu, you know, is very busy, and in spite of his busy schedule, and he is the chairman State Council of Higher Education, and running the higher education with great energies and great efficiency under the actions of the Honorable Chief Minister Jagan Garu, and the person who is creating vibrations and innovations in education, and he has given a good and perfect curricula and syllabi which includes skills, outcome-based education, and he is a person behind that. And the person behind the ramifications of Honorable CM Garu, and a person who is fighting for quality education, and he's a person, great personality. We are extremely happy to have him here. Hearty welcome, sir. And we have eminent speakers, invitees, directors, faculty, and students. And really, it is EC members Bhavanigar and Sumlata madam and Harita. A warm welcome to you all. And I thought of something I would like to mention about the conference, because Pratap Reddy has given a lot of light on that. So that's why I'm not taking any relevant technical matter pertaining to the theme of the workshop. But the workshop definitely it is going to be a success, and the participants, and then we definitely going to benefit out of the conference. And really, I thank all of you for your nice presence, and accept the memory of Satyanarayana. Everything is really happy, and thank you all.
Sir, for sharing the information. Now, continuing the legacy of late Professor Satyanarayana sir, and having his ideologies, memories in our heart, we the doctoral scholars of sir, the former registrar, would like to give the endowment award, an amount of ₹1 lakh in the name of late Professor C.H. Satyanarayana sir, to the meritorious student of CSE department among all the students of JNTU university affiliated colleges. In this regard, the incurred interest can be used to give award every year during convocation. I request Professor K. Hemachandra Reddy sir, Chairman AP, State Council of Higher Education, to hand over the check to the Honorable Rector sir. Thank you, sir, on behalf of our scholars.
Now I request Mr. Mahindra to introduce special guest Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar, Chief Coordinating Officer, AICTE, New Delhi, to the gathering.
Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar is an unique combination of technologies, ideas, multi-domain business knowledge, entrepreneur, leader with a go-getter attitude. Buddha Chandrasekhar focusing on strategy, technology, and business transformation. He is an expert in managing advanced technologies, processes, cybersecurity, and people. Buddha Chandrasekhar architected more than 180 technology-based systems. Buddha Chandrasekhar, leading Ministry of Education, National Educational Alliance for Technology Initiative, Internship Enterprise Portal, Artificial Intelligence Language Translation Project, Indian Knowledge Systems, distributed 450 crore free digital content to higher education students, and is leading various student upskilling initiatives. He has hands-on experience in software, IT, education, smart cities, critical infrastructure, urban, finance, skill development, healthcare, and telecommunication domains. Buddha Chandrasekhar's focus is to grow the customer base, profit margins, and ensure operational effectiveness while driving the implementation of policies and standards that align with the company's vision and business philosophy. Thank you.
Special guest Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar, Chief Coordinating Officer, AICTE, New Delhi, to address the gathering.
Good morning all. As our national education policy is encouraging the local languages, so with help of permission of chair, I will speak in Telugu. Andarki namaskaram, endro mahanvalu andarki namaskaram. Ma మిత్రులు హేమచంద్ర రెడ్డి గారు, అలాగే ప్రతాప్ రెడ్డి గారు, వీళ్ళందరూ కూడా చాలాసేపు మాట్లాడారు. అదేవిధంగా మన సత్యనారాయణ గారు నాకు బాగా ఆప్తమైన మిత్రులు, ఎప్పుడు పర్సనల్గా కలవలేదు కానీ నేను చాలాసార్లు 5-6 సార్లు సార్తో మాట్లాడినప్పుడు ఐ థింక్ ఈజ్ ద రైట్ మ్యాన్ టు టేక్ అవర్ కంట్రీ ఫార్వర్డ్. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పటివరకు మన కంట్రీలో ఏం జరుగుతుందంటే అందరూ విడివిడిగా పనిచేస్తున్నారు. నేను ఇందాకలో ఒకసారి ఏం చెప్పారంటే, ఆయన మాట మీద నిలబడి నేను ఆయన మాటను నమ్మి నేను ఇక్కడికి వచ్చి జాయిన్ అయ్యానని చెప్పాను. దీని అర్థం ఏంటంటే అందరినీ కలిసి పనిచేయడు. మా చిన్నప్పుడు ఒక ఆయన వచ్చి నాకు చెప్పాడు ఇదేంటి అని అడిగాడు. అంటే నేను 5 ఫింగర్స్ అని చెప్పాను. ఏమున్నది దీనిలో అని. ఇలా కొట్టు అన్నాడు, ఇలా కొట్టాడు. ఆయనకి దెబ్బేం తగలలే. ఇలా కొట్టు అన్నాడు, ఇలా కొట్టిన తర్వాత అర్థమైంది, అంటే అందరూ కలిసి పనిచేస్తే దాని తాలూకా శక్తి వేరు. మన దేశంలో ఇప్పటివరకు జరగని పని ఇది ఒకటే, అందరూ కలిసి పనిచేయకపోవడమే. మనం అందరూ ఏ రోజైతే కలిసి పనిచేసామో ఖచ్చితంగా మన దేశం ముందుకెళ్తుంది. మీరు 1962 చూసుకుంటే కనుక చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఇయర్ అది సార్. ఇండియా చైనా జీడిపి ఒకే రేషియోలు ఉండేవి. మీరు చూసుకుంటే ఆ రోజు మనము ఇంగ్లీష్ అనే దాన్ని మాతృభాషకి తీసేసి మన మాతృభాష ఏదైతే ఉందో దాన్ని పక్కన పెట్టి ఇంగ్లీష్ మీడియం ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ కింద చేసుకున్నాం. చైనా వాళ్ళు అదే టైంలోని వాళ్ళ మాతృభాషనే వాళ్ళు మీడియం ఆఫ్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ కింద చేసుకున్నారు. ఈరోజు మీరు చూస్తే కనుక చైనా డెవలప్డ్ కంట్రీ. మనం ఏం చేసామంటే ఇంగ్లీష్ మంచిదే, ఇంగ్లీషు ఎవరైతే 3% ప్రజలు ముందుకెళ్ళగలరో ఆ 3% ప్రజలు ముందుకెళ్ళిపోయారు, ముందుకెళ్ళి విదేశాలకు వెళ్ళిపోయారు, ఎంతో అభివృద్ధి చెందారు. కానీ 97% మంది వెనకబడడానికి కారణం ఏంటంటే మనము మన మాతృభాషను మర్చిపోవడం. నేను అందుకని చెప్పేసి కావాలని తెలుగులో మాట్లాడుతుంది, ఇది నాకు ఇంగ్లీష్ రాదని హిందీ రాదని కాదు. కాకపోతే ఏంటంటే మన భాషను మనం గౌరవించుకోలేనప్పుడు, మన తల్లిని మనం గౌరవించుకోలేనప్పుడు పక్కింటి ఆంటీని గౌరవిస్తే లాభం ఏంటి? సో ఫస్ట్ మన భాషను గౌరవించుకోవాలి. కాబట్టి వి మస్ట్ రెస్పెక్ట్ అవర్ లాంగ్వేజ్ అండ్ కల్చర్. సో విచ్ ఈజ్ మిస్సింగ్ ఇన్ అవర్ కంట్రీ అండ్ వర్కింగ్ టుగెదర్ ఈజ్ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఇప్పుడు మీరు చూసుకుంటే మేక్ ఇన్ ఇండియా ప్రాసెస్ స్టార్ట్ అయిన తర్వాత సార్ మన భారతదేశానికి $375 బిలియన్ ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్స్ మన దేశానికి వచ్చాయి. అంటే మన దేశం తాలూకా ప్రతిభ, మన దేశం తాలూకా కష్టపడే మనస్తత్వం, మన దేశంలో ఉన్న ప్రజలు వాళ్ళ తాలూకా మన డెమోక్రటిక్ సొసైటీని ప్రపంచం మొత్తం నమ్ముతుంది, మనం నమ్మట్లేదు. ఎందుకంటే మన దేశం అంటే మనకి ప్రేమ ఉంది కానీ నమ్మకం లేదు. ఐ థింక్ ఇప్పుడు మనం చేయాల్సిందల్లా అంటే ప్రేమతో పాటుగా నమ్మకాన్ని కూడా కుదిర్చడం. ఒక మనిషి ఇంకో మనిషిని సహాయం చేయడం. ఈ న్యూ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ పాలసీలో మెయిన్గా మేము చూస్తున్న థాట్ ప్రాసెస్ కూడా ఏంటంటే అందరూ కలిసి పనిచేయడమే న్యూ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ పాలసీ అంటే. అందరికీ కూడా సమానమైన ఫలాలు ఇవ్వాలి. దానిలో మీరు చూసుకుంటే కనుక 5 పిల్లర్స్ ఉంటాయి. అందులో ముఖ్యమైన పిల్లర్ ఏంటంటే సమానత్వం. వాళ్ళ కులము మతంతో పని లేదు, భారతీయులు అనే వాళ్ళందరూ సమానం, అందరికీ సమానమైన ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేయాలి, సమానమైన అవకాశాలు ప్రొవైడ్ చేయాలి, ఈక్వల్ ఆపర్చునిటీ ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ ఇండియన్. దట్ ఈస్ ద మెయిన్ టాస్క్ అండ్ మెయిన్ ఎయిమ్ అండ్ విజన్ ఆఫ్ న్యూ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ పాలసీ 2020. సో ఈ ప్రాసెస్లో మేము చూసినప్పుడు చాలా వరకు కొన్ని మధ్య మీరు టూల్స్ చూసుంటారు. అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం అంటే మనం జర్మన్స్లో ఆలోచించాలని నా ఆలోచన. అడ్వాన్స్డ్ టెక్నాలజీస్లో ఫోర్ ఫ్రంట్లు ఉంటారు జర్మన్స్ ఎప్పుడు కూడా. అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం వాళ్ళ కల్చర్ని మర్చిపోలేదు, వాళ్ళ లాంగ్వేజ్ని మర్చిపోలేదు. మీరు చూసుకుంటే కనుక ఈ రోజు కూడా జర్మనీ మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. వాళ్ళ ఆటోమొబైల్ ఇండస్ట్రీస్లో వరల్డ్ నెంబర్ 1. మీరు ఈరోజు మనమేమో ఫ్రాన్స్ నుంచి పెద్ద పెద్ద విమానాలు తెచ్చుకున్నాము, చాలా గర్వంగా ఫీల్ అవుతున్నాం. ఆ విమానాలు ల్యాండ్ అయినప్పుడు చప్పట్లు కూడా కొట్టాం. అక్కడ వాళ్ళు ఫ్రెంచ్లో మాట్లాడతారు. అంటే మన మాతృభాష ఏ రోజైతే మన తల్లి దగ్గర నుంచి వచ్చిన లాంగ్వేజ్ ఏ రోజైతే మన దానిలో ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ కింద ఫిట్ అయిపోయి ఉంటుందో అదే లాంగ్వేజ్లో మీరు నేర్చుకోగలిగితే, అదే లాంగ్వేజ్లో మీరు అవగాహన చేసుకోగలిగితే, అదే లాంగ్వేజ్లో మీరు వెళ్ళి ఒక పల్లెటూరులోని ఒక 2nd లెవెల్ సిటీలో 3rd లెవెల్ సిటీలో ఒక కామన్ సిటిజన్తో ఏ రోజైతే మాట్లాడగలిగితే ఆ రోజు మన భారతదేశం ముందుకెళ్తుంది. ఎందుకంటే మన భారతదేశంలోనే కన్స్యూమర్స్ ఉన్నారు, మీరు ఎక్కడికో వెళ్ళి ఎత్తుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. మొత్తం ప్రపంచంలో 7 కోట్ల జనాభా ఉంటే 1.4 కోట్ల జనాభా ఉన్న అద్భుతమైన భారతదేశం మన దేశం. మన దేశంలోనే కన్స్యూమర్స్ ఉన్నారు, మన దేశంలోనే ప్రొడ్యూసర్స్ కూడా ఉన్నారు. మనం చేస్తున్న తప్పంతా ఏంటంటే వేరే దేశం నుంచి కొని తెచ్చుకుంటున్నాం, మన దేశంలో కన్స్యూమ్ చేస్తున్నాం. అంటే మన డబ్బులు బయట దేశాలకు పంపిస్తున్నాం. మన డబ్బుల్ని మన భారతీయులకే, మన దగ్గర ఉన్న వాళ్ళకే మనం ఇచ్చుకోగలిగితే మనకు అద్భుతమైన ఫలితాలు వస్తాయి. అందులో ఇప్పుడు టెక్నాలజీ ఫోర్ ఫ్రంట్ పెడుతున్నాం. ఇప్పుడు మీరు చూసుకుంటే కనుక నేను ఇంత భారతీయత కోసం మాట్లాడుతుంటే నేను టెక్నాలజిస్ట్ని. ఎప్పుడు ఆలోచన వచ్చిన వెంటనే ఒక ప్రాబ్లం స్టేట్మెంట్ టెక్నాలజికల్గా ఆలోచిస్తాను, టెక్నాలజీని ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసేస్తాం. రీసెంట్గా ప్రధానమంత్రి గారు మీరు చూస్తే మాతృభాషలో ఇంజనీరింగ్ కావాలి, మెడికల్ కావాలి, డిప్లొమా చదివించాలంటే మేము ఒక ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ టూల్ ఓన్గా తయారు చేసాం. ఎవరి మీద డిపెండ్ అవ్వకుండా గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా మేము చేసి ఐపీ కూడా గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియాకి చేస్తున్నాం. ఎందుకంటే ప్రతి భారతీయుడు కూడా అటువంటి టూల్స్ వాడి చేయాలని. ఇప్పుడు నెక్స్ట్ టూల్ అంటే సార్ అందరూ కంప్యూటర్ విజన్ కోసం చెప్పారు కాబట్టి నేను చెప్తున్నాను. ఇది మన సత్యనారాయణ గారి కళ కూడా. ఆయన ఒకసారి మాట్లాడుతున్నప్పుడు నా దగ్గర అన్నారు కూడా, ఏమనంటే సార్ మనం వేరే చోటుకి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు శబరిమల అక్కడికి వెళ్తున్నప్పుడు మనకు చాలా ప్రాబ్లం అవుతుంది, వాళ్ళు మలయాళంలో మాట్లాడుతున్నారు, మేము తెలుగులో మాట్లాడుతున్నాం, ఈ రెండు సింక్ అవ్వట్లేదని. మేము ఇప్పుడు ఒక డివైస్ తయారు చేస్తున్నాం ఇందులో మీరు తెలుగులో మాట్లాడతారు, వాళ్ళకి అక్కడ మలయాళంలోని కానీ వాళ్ళు ఏ లాంగ్వేజ్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటే ఆ లాంగ్వేజ్లోని వాళ్ళకి వినిపిస్తుంది, కనిపిస్తుంది. ఎందుకంటే మన దానిలో చాలామందికి మాట్లాడడం వచ్చు కానీ రాయడం చదవడం రాదు. సో వాళ్ళు హ్యాపీగా వినేస్తారు. అంటే మలయాళం అనుకుంటే కనుక అవతల వ్యక్తి ఆయన మలయాళంలో వింటారు, అదేవిధంగా మలయాళంలోని వాళ్ళు చదవగలరు. వాళ్ళు మలయాళంలో మాట్లాడితే అది మనకు తెలుగులో వినిపిస్తుంది. ఒకసారి ఆలోచించండి, మన భారతదేశంలో ఈ లాంగ్వేజ్ అనే బ్యారియర్ని తీసేయగలిగితే మీరు భారతదేశంలో ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళినా కూడా మీరు తయారు చేసిన ప్రోడక్ట్ నమ్ముకోవచ్చు. సో ఇటువంటి సదుపాయాలు అంటే ఒక ప్రాబ్లంను సృష్టించింది మనమే మన దేశంలో, ఆ ప్రాబ్లంని సాల్వ్ చేసిన బాధ్యత కూడా మనదే. మన చుట్టుపక్కల చాలాసార్లు నేను చాలా యూనివర్సిటీస్కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఒకటి చెప్తుంటాను సార్, మేబీ అంటే ఇక్కడ ఉన్నారు పెద్దలు కాబట్టి చెప్తున్నా. చాలామంది వచ్చి మన భారతదేశంలో చాలా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నాయంటారు. ఆ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ మనమే సృష్టించాం కదండి, ఎవరో బయట నుంచి వచ్చి సృష్టించలేదు కదా, మనమే సృష్టించాం కాబట్టి సాల్వ్ చేయాల్సింది కూడా మనమే. శ్రీకృష్ణ పరమాత్ముడు భారతంలో చాలా స్పష్టంగా చెప్పాడు, నీ కర్మకి నువ్వే బాధ్యుడివని. మనము చేసిన కర్మకి మనమే బాధ్యులం కాబట్టి మనము క్రియేట్ చేసిన ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ సాల్వ్ చేయాల్సిన బాధ్యత కూడా మనదే. ఇన్ మహాభారత శ్రీకృష్ణ సెడ్ వన్ థింగ్, if you are the one who created the problem and you are the one who is supposed to solve the problem అని. మనము రోజుకి ఇంటి దగ్గర నుంచి బయలుదేరి ఆఫీస్కి వచ్చి లేకపోతే కాలేజ్కి వచ్చి 100 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ చేస్తుంటాం, రోజు తిట్టుకుంటాం ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ కోసం. ఆ ప్రాబ్లమ్ సాల్వ్ చేయడానికి ఎందుకు ప్రయత్నించట్లేదు మనం? ఏ రోజైతే ప్రాబ్లమ్ సాల్వ్ చేయడానికి ప్రయత్నించామో ఆ రోజు మన దేశం మారుతుంది. మన దేశం ఎప్పుడైతే మారిందో, మనం ఎప్పుడైతే మారేమో మన సొసైటీ మారుతుంది, మన ఫ్యామిలీ మారుతుంది. మనం ఎప్పుడైతే ముందుకెళ్ళామో మన ఫ్యామిలీ ముందుకెళ్తుంది, ఫ్యామిలీ ముందుకెళ్తే సొసైటీ ముందుకెళ్తుంది, సొసైటీ ముందుకెళ్తే రాష్ట్రం ముందుకెళ్తుంది, రాష్ట్రం ముందుకెళ్తే దేశం ముందుకెళ్తుంది. ఐ థింక్ ఒక డెవలపింగ్ నేషన్ నుంచి డెవలప్డ్ నేషన్ కింద, విశ్వగురువు కింద మన భారతదేశం అవ్వాలంటే ఖచ్చితంగా మనం చేయాల్సింది ఏంటంటే అందరూ కలిసి పనిచేయడం. అందరూ కలిసి ఏ రోజైతే పనిచేసామో మనం ఎంత బలవంతునైనా ఓడించగలం. మీరు చూస్తే కనుక పాండవులు 5గురే, కానీ పాండవులతో పాటు శ్రీకృష్ణ భగవంతులు ఉన్నాయి. అంటే ధర్మం, మనము కష్టపడి ఒక విజన్ పెట్టుకొని, ఇప్పుడు ఈ కాలేజ్ ఉందంటే ఈ కాలేజ్ చుట్టుపక్కల 100 గ్రామాలు ఉన్నాయి, ఇక్కడ అద్భుతమైన పంటలు పండుతుంటాయి. ఎందుకు యూనివర్సిటీలో పనిచేస్తున్న వాళ్ళు, యూనివర్సిటీ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఈ 100 గ్రామాలకి వెళ్ళి అక్కడ వాళ్ళకు ఉన్న ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఏంటో తెలుసుకొని వాటిని సాల్వ్ చేయగలిగితే చాలు. దీన్నే దేశ సేవ అంటారు. మనం దానికి విచిత్రమైన నేములు పెట్టుకొని రోడ్లు ఓడ్చడాలు అవి చేయడాలు ఇవి చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. మీరు ప్రాబ్లం ఎక్కడ ఉందని సాల్వ్ చేసి చాలు. దీనిలో కంప్యూటర్ విజన్ ఏదైతే హై పెర్ఫార్మెన్స్ కంప్యూటింగ్, ఇప్పుడు నెక్స్ట్ 5G టెక్నాలజీస్ వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఈ 5G టెక్నాలజీ ఏదైతే ఇండస్ట్రీ 4.0 ఉందో దానిలో లోకల్ నెట్వర్క్స్ ఏవైతే లైఫైస్ అంటాం వాటిని బేస్ చేసుకొని ఇండస్ట్రీస్ అన్ని పనిచేయబోతున్నాయి. ఈ ఇంటర్నెట్ ఆఫ్ టెక్నాలజీస్, ఇటువంటి టెక్నాలజీస్ అన్నీ కూడా మనం ఫోర్ ఫ్రంట్లో పెడుతూ, ఎందుకంటే మీరు చూసుకుంటే కనుక చైనీస్ చేస్తుంది కూడా ఒకటే, వాళ్ళ సంస్కృతిని రక్షించుకుంటూ టెక్నాలజీని ముందు పెడుతుంటారు. మనం కూడా మన సంస్కృతిని మన భారతీయతని రక్షించుకుంటూ మనం టెక్నాలజీని ముందు పెట్టగలిగితే చాలు. ఇప్పుడు ఏవైతే నా రిక్వెస్ట్ సార్ కూడా ఇందాక నుంచి నేను మాట్లాడుతున్నప్పుడు నేను అదే చెప్పాలనుకున్నాను, మీ అందరూ సభాముఖంగా చెప్తున్నాను. సరే మీ చుట్టుపక్కల నుండి 100 గ్రామాలు తీసుకోండి, అందులో ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఐడెంటిఫై చేసి వాటిని సాల్వ్ చేసి 3 monthsలో మాకు ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేయండి. మేము దీన్ని బెస్ట్ కాలేజ్ కింద బెస్ట్ ఇన్నోవేషన్స్ కింద తీసుకుంటాం. ఎందుకంటే రీసెంట్గా న్యూ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ పాలసీలు ఇప్పుడు వరకు నాలెడ్జ్ అనేది ఇచ్చేస్తున్నాం పిల్లలకి, రియల్ టైం ఆపర్చునిటీ ఇవ్వట్లేదు. మేము అందుకని ఇప్పుడు మేము కూడా మారిపోయాం. సెంట్రల్ గవర్నమెంట్లో కూర్చుని మేము అందరం కూడా ఇప్పుడు టెక్నాలజీస్ కింద ఆలోచిస్తాం. నేను మా ఆఫీస్కి ఎవరు వచ్చినా కూడా ఒకటే చెప్తాను, మీరు ఇది గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫీస్ అనుకోవద్దు, ఇది ఒక టెక్నాలజీ పవర్ హౌస్. మీకు ఏం కావాలని ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటో చెప్పండి, మేము సొల్యూషన్ ఇస్తాము. మేము ఇప్పుడు స్టూడెంట్స్కి ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో మేము వాళ్ళకి ఇంటర్న్షిప్ ఆపర్చునిటీస్, రియల్ టైం ఇంటర్న్షిప్ ఆపర్చునిటీస్ వెళ్ళి వాళ్ళు వర్క్ చేసుకునే విధంగా ఆన్లైన్లోని లేకపోతే ఫిజికల్గా వెళ్ళి చేసుకునే విధంగా ఆపర్చునిటీస్ ఇస్తున్నాం. ఐ మీన్ హూ డోంట్ అండర్స్టాండ్ తెలుగు. So we are, with about this new education policy, we are interconnecting the education system, where you are providing the knowledge repository, but we are not giving them a real-time opportunity to work with the industries. So we are interconnecting these two objects called industry and institute connect. And we are interconnecting and allowing the students and faculty to earn internship opportunities with the nearby industries. At the same time, we are providing opportunities are online, offline as well as on a physical mode. దీనివల్ల ఏం జరుగుతుందంటే మన విద్యార్థులు ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో, మన ఫ్యాకల్టీ ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళందరూ ఒక్కొక్కరు పంచపాండవులు 5 మినిమం స్కిల్స్ వాళ్ళ డిగ్రీతో పాటుగా వస్తే ప్రపంచంలో ఉన్న ప్రతి జాబ్ ఆపర్చునిటీ కూడా మన ఇండియన్స్ గ్రాప్ చేసుకునే అవకాశం వస్తుంది. ఎందుకంటే ప్రతి దేశంలోని ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇస్తున్నారు, లేకపోతే స్కిల్ ఇస్తున్నారు. మనం ఇప్పుడు ఈ రెండింటిని ఒకసారి కలిపి ఒక కాంబినేషన్ తయారు చేసామంటే పవర్ఫుల్ భారత్, అంటే న్యూ ఇండియా, కొత్త భారతదేశం అనేది సృష్టించవచ్చు. కానీ ప్రతి కొత్త భారతదేశం స్టార్ట్ అవ్వాల్సింది మన నుంచి, యూనివర్సిటీస్ నుంచి. ఏ రోజైతే యూనివర్సిటీస్ విషయాన్ని ఈ విధంగా తీసుకొని ముందు తీసుకెళ్తే ఖచ్చితంగా చాలా బాగుంటుంది. నేను వస్తున్నప్పుడు మధ్యలో ఇన్నోవేషన్ సెంటర్ చూసాను, చాలా ఆనందంగా అనిపించింది. See, the where we have an innovation center, that is where the students are gaining the empowerment on the left as well as the right brain. సో ఏ రోజైతే ఒక వ్యక్తి తాలూకా రైట్ లెఫ్ట్ బ్రెయిన్ రెండు కూడా ఎంపవర్ అయ్యి ఉంటాయో ఆ రోజు వాళ్ళు అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ద బాక్స్ థింకింగ్ ఆలోచిస్తారు, వాళ్ళ తాలూకా క్యాపబిలిటీస్ పెరుగుతాయి, వాళ్ళ మెంటల్ స్ట్రెంత్ పెరుగుతాయి, ప్రాబ్లమ్ సాల్వింగ్ స్కిల్స్ పెరుగుతాయి. ఇటువంటి క్యాపబిలిటీస్ అన్నీ కూడా తీసుకువచ్చే బాధ్యత ఈ న్యూ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ పాలసీలో ప్రధానమంత్రి నరేంద్ర మోదీ గారి నాయకత్వంలో జరుగుతుంది. రండి మనందరం కలిసి పనిచేద్దాము. ఈ స్మార్ట్ డివైస్ ఒక్కదానికోసం చెప్పి నేను ముగిస్తాను. రీసెంట్గా మేము చేసిన ఒక దీనిలో నేను డిజిటల్ ట్విన్నింగ్స్ ఈజ్ వాట్ వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ నవ్ డేస్. ద యాక్చువల్ మిషన్స్ రిసైడ్స్ ఇన్ జర్మనీ and we have taken a digital twinning of those missions. I mean, I'm talking about aeroplane missions, I'm talking about automobile missions, and we did a digital twinning of it, and we have given that to a couple of students to see how they will perform. And I'm happy to share with you that one of the group of the students fine-tuned the electrification wiring mechanism of the one of the biggest top secret warship, the war aeroplane. They have redesigned, and that model was accepted. See, we are like Hanumans. We don't know our own strength. I mean, we forgot our own strength actually. So I think someone is to remember. So what we did, we have collected 40 people, sir, and we have created amazing products. And all those 40 students are from small remote villages. Trust me, none of them from IITs or IIMs. Because we want to make sure, we want to show this entire world that what our students can do wonders if you give an opportunity. So I request everyone to give an opportunity, let them fail. I think let us remove the fear of the failure from the society point of view. I think we need to give an opportunity. Sometimes, when I fail, my chairman says, don't worry, Buddha, don't worry, nothing will happen. If you are burning some money, you burn, but make sure you don't do this mistake again. I think we must understand, we must learn and move forward and take our country forward, our family forward, our society forward. I thank organizers, and I'm really happy to be here. And let us use the technology as a front face and take our country forward. Jai Hind, thank you very much.
Sir, for sharing information, how government is taking initiative to bridge the gap between society and the technology. So we feel so happy. Now I request Ms. Harshita to introduce Chief Guest Professor K. Hemachandra Reddy, Chairman, Andhra Pradesh State Council of Higher Education.
Professor K. Hemachandra Reddy sir has more than 30 years of teaching and research experience in the field of mechanical engineering. Sir is specialized in the areas of thermal engineering, computational fluid mechanics, and has published more than 135 technical papers in national and international journals with 1466 citations and H-index of 90. He has executed externally funded research projects sponsored by DRDO and another in the area of PCM-based thermal energy storage applications sanctioned by SCRB. He has guided 39 scholars for PhD degrees and has authored 2 textbooks. During his tenure as teacher, he has handled many administrative positions at university and college levels such as placement officer, principal, director academic planning and the registrar. He received Anna University National Award for the Outstanding Academic for ISTE, New Delhi, India. State Best Teacher Award from the AP State Government, Broad Outlook Learner Teacher Award from Air India. Professor K. Hemachandra Reddy is a member of various professional bodies including American Society of Mechanical Engineers, Gold Member of International Solar Energy Society, and served as the National Executive Council of Indian Society of Technical Education, ISTE. Currently, he is the Chairman, Andhra Pradesh State Council of Higher Education. Thank you.
Now, I do hereby request Professor K. Hemachandra Reddy Garu, Andhra Pradesh State Council of Higher Education, to address the gathering.
Good afternoon to all of you. Distinguished personalities on the dais, my good friends there, Professor L. Pratap Reddy Garu and Sri Chandrasekhar Buddha, the authorities of the universities, again, two other good friends of mine, Professor Prasad Raj Garu, the rector of the university, and Professor Balakrishna, the principal of the college, Dr. Harita, other distinguished professors of JNTU Kakinada, Professor I could see, Professor Abhaya, Professor Gopal Krishna, and Professor Sumulata, Professor Swaminaidu, and Dr. Venkat Reddy. That's what I could see, maybe a few other professors I could see. J.V.R. Murthy was here sometime, he left it. So, other participants for this workshop, ladies and gentlemen, press and media. It's not a very happy occasion, though, you know, conducting an international conference obviously is assumed to be a happy occasion, but the circumstances under which we are observing this, you know, is not making me very comfortable or happy. Last year, I think, for the inaugural edition of this CHSN 2020, I was here as a chief guest. It held sometime in December last year. It's almost 8-9 months from here. I've spent almost half the day here on the dais, but exactly at a point where Professor Satyanarayana's autobiography or a presentation made on him was being presented, I had to leave because I had to catch up with another meeting at Rajahmundry, and therefore I sought excuses from all the people on the dais and I left. As I was walking out of this, a video was being presented and where Satyanarayana was walking. You know, I never knew that his walk will stop within 8 months here. You know, the next edition is here. That boy is so dear to me. Because you know he calls me very fondly Anna. I call him Tammudu. He was so dear to me. I don't know how we got connected. Certain things, there are no reasons why we get connected to each other. Satyanarayana, with this, you know, very affectionate behavior, or, you know, with a smiling face, he wins over the people, I guess. And that's how he could win over me. And it appears, you know, whenever I just think of, you know, after we lost him, I keep thinking about him now and then. Whenever I think about him, you know, his smile very broadly appears to me and then very slowly gets faded away. It's not very abrupt. So this boy lives for long, you know, in the hearts of the people. That's what I could say. Miss you, Satyanarayana, today. You know, I strongly believe JNTU Kakinada also misses you equally, because you know you were in quite a few crucial positions, and I'm good that I've come here today. I could listen to Pratap Reddy Garu. Almost he had a very strong point to prove about the research qualities of Satyanarayana. Had I not come here, probably I would not have understood about this angle of Satyanarayana, because you know I am a mechanical engineering professor. We are always hardware and computer science always software, right? We don't merge at some point. We don't understand the academics of that. But today Pratap Reddy is so, you know, illustrative when he started talking about the achievements of Professor Satyanarayana. I think wherever he is, like Professor Satyanarayana could have been happy now listening to his guru. So I am amidst this Guru Shishya Parampara. Only there is a vacuum at the middle. You know, his guru is here, his Shishyas are here. In between, you know, at such an age, he left. But then this concept, I liked it last year itself, and I'm very happy. Last year I was here, but I did not understand that it was the first international conference being organized by JNTUK Kakinada. So, international conference always means a lot for an educational institution. I know the hard work that goes behind, and he was talking to me, said he was about to come and meet me in Delhi, but then in the afternoon suddenly he passed away. He had his flight tickets booked. So while thinking about this conference, probably he lost his life. And I don't know, maybe I'm repeatedly coming back to the same topic because I love that boy so much. So probably I keep telling him about it. Professor Satyanarayana, if you want me to sum it up, whole thing, what I understood about Satyanarayana, as it is said in Bhagavad Gita, Tachetvam emam dharmyam sangramam nakarishyasi. Tataswadharmam kirtincha hitva papam avapyasi. Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, look, you have a battle to fight, and if you fight it with all your courage, you create a history. Otherwise, you will be a Charitrahin. Now, this one quality I like in Satyanarayana, he is always ready for a struggle. Certain times when I instruct him, Satyam, why don't you go a little careful? This needs to be executed carefully. And pat comes the reply from him, says, Anagaru, I have understood what you said, I will handle it. Now again, he would only revert back only with a very broad smile on his face. Says, Anagaru, I understood this. No, I'll get it done. So even the complicated things, he takes it easy. Probably he has got very good cognitive skills and then very clear understanding. And probably I understand from this man that he knows how to execute his things. And this will be an exclusive quality of someone who understands even the minutest details, or having a very solid focus on what they do. So, Mr. Satyanarayana again, but this conference, the computer vision and then high performance networks. Today, the world is moving after them. Today, entire engineering reduces to computer science, and no other branch seems to be very important to the engineering, students or the teachers as well. Rightly so, right from Y2K problem the world has faced, for over 2.5 decades, I should say. Millions of youngsters graduated from Indian schools and colleges. They would find very good jobs in that sector. That is one sector which contributed, which amounted to a number of jobs. And no wonder that discipline becomes so important. Now today, it almost is walking into every discipline of human life. And even the state government is thinking very seriously about embracing the very advanced technologies. And today we are one of the prime area where CH Satyanarayana works. We are now developing a system to monitor attendance of all the colleges and students through facial recognition. Sometime back, people made an effort to centralize the attendance monitoring system, had thumb biometrics. That did not work well. And today, the government is very committed, at least to face recognition technology. We shall have that attendance monitoring system in almost all educational institutions. We are now ready with our technology. We are about to float an RFP for a solution. And the government of Andhra Pradesh, realizing very quickly about the use of ICT in all fields, including education, it is establishing digital libraries in all 13,000 villages. Now, it's hardly 6 months from now, the government of Andhra Pradesh will have, we will all see digital libraries established in almost all villages with the facility for someone to work, remotely from their offices. So the facilities are being created. The entire higher education system, I think Chandrasekhar Buddhaji is here. Many of you, looking at him, think that he is a very ordinary person. Let me tell you, appearances are most often deceptive. He is extraordinary. That's what I understood, when I first got an opportunity to interact with him, I thought him to be down-to-earth and simple person with a very good focus on a single faculty. But he is CTO of AICTE. Many of you may not be aware. He is a very important officer in at least 5 central government ministries. So he is not a small man. And he is a technocrat, he is a policy maker, he is a social reformer, what should I say, and he is a good manager, administrator, and a good politician in making. And over and above that, I came to know that he is a good orator as well, listening to his speech. Sometime back, Vizag, district administration came to me. He said, we have a 180-page English document to be translated into Telugu by tomorrow because we need to submit it to High Court of Andhra Pradesh. And they said they identified 9 Telugu scholars to translate this document. They were worried in a single day, how can 180 pages be translated? I immediately recollected something what Chandrasekhar Buddhaji is doing. I called him. He said he was amidst a very busy activity, but then he received, as usual, my call and said, Hemchandra Garu, why don't you send the document? The device or the tool is quite busy, but then I can take some time and do it. So he subjected the entire document before this translator, artificial intelligence tool that he has developed for the country. And I have sent this document at around 6:30, I guess, in the evening. Exactly at midnight, 11:50, he gave me a call, said, the translated document is back into your email ID. Why don't you please check it? So, my Vizag people also, they were so surprised, in a few hours, the entire translation work was done. But then we asked the identified scholars to vet it. And even their report is more amazing, The translation is perfect to the extent of 90%, only minor, corrections are needed here or there, and therefore, they all certified the tool. So this, his vision, talking in one language, speech getting converted into other language. I think a diversified country like India needs this. Buddhaji, I think if you can commercialize, bring it to the use of the people, probably people will remember you forever. The Indian people will remember you forever. Such is the importance of, the computer domain skills, today, what is developing. Pratap Reddy Garu was talking about Industry Revolution 4.0, and now people are talking about Education 4.0. Now, Education 4.0 is all about, embracing ICT and then making best use of the resources for improving the quality. I think I'm very fortunate I have at this point of time very good vice chancellors supporting me from the state government, the state universities, and some of the very good, academicians and professors joining hands with me and then working together. We almost have laid a platform to transform the entire higher education system in the state of Andhra Pradesh. I think we need to go very steady, at least for the next 3 years before we actually see the results. And I am personally feel fortunate because I have quite a few people like Chandrasekhar Buddhaji supporting me from the top, and the very good support of the state government, vision of the state government, particularly Honorable Chief Minister Y. Jagannath Reddy Garu. He has a very strong vision for the education, and he wants quality education to be given to the youth of the state. And at the same time, education institutions, particularly universities, much has been talked about the universities in the past, but today the higher education system is changing very fast, and universities are marching towards quality now. probably with a combined effort, Buddhaji was talking about 5 fingers loosely making an impact and then collectively making an impact. Unknowing this, but then we started moving towards that, and higher education department, I don't know about other sectors of Andhra Pradesh, at least higher education sector of Andhra Pradesh is all set to move. Technological university like JNTUK, Kakinada should come forward in all our pursuits and then take it to the next level. Give the advantage to the society as well as the job seekers as well as the industry. I'm sure the scholars of Professor CHSN and the participants of this workshop will take the message very clearly. I think you give a little thinking to what we are expecting from you, and you come out with your fresh ideas. I think the state of Andhra Pradesh and then the country will be immensely benefited through such solid measures. Thanks for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be here with you. All the very best to the participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing such a valuable information. Now, jewel is added to the feather of CHSN 2021 with various awards to enhance its glory. As a part of it, recognizing researchers with Young Researcher and Best Women Researcher in Science and Technology Awards to encourage the innovations in research and development in the fields of science and technology. The Young Researcher Award is presented based on the SCI Scopus Indexed Paper publications, funded research projects, patents, and number of PhD awardees. The Best Women Researcher in Science and Technology Award is also presented based on the SCI Scopus Indexed Paper publications, funded research projects, patents, number of PhD awardees, and number of women empowerment activities organized. Now, I request the dignitaries to join for the award ceremony. And now, I request the Honorable Chief Guest of today's event, Professor K. Hemchandra Reddy Sir, to present the awards. Dr. L. Sumalata, Professor, JNTUK Kakinada, to receive the Best Women Researcher in Science and Technology Award. Ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
Madam Center. Sir, కొంచెం దగ్గర క్లోజ్ చేయాలి.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Congratulations, ma'am. Now, I call Dr. L. Nirmala Devi, Professor, Osmania University, to receive the Best Women Researcher in Science and Technology Award. Welcome, ma'am.
No, sir. Last year, Naveen Kumar, sir. Naveen Kumar is there. Madam.
please, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now I call Dr. S. Geeta, Professor, VIT University, to receive Best Women Researcher in Science and Technology Award. Welcome, ma'am.
Madam, please. Madam, please.
I call Dr. A. Naidu Tendu, Assistant Professor, CR Rao, AOM, SCS, to receive the Young Researcher Award. Welcome, sir.
Sir, please. Thank you.
Dr. Sasikumar Gurumurthy sir is not here. He is professor from Well Tech Rangarajan, Dr. Saguntala, R&D Institute of Science and Technology, to receive the Young Researcher Award. So currently he is not there. So congratulations to him. And congratulations to all the awardees present in this auditorium. Now, I request Chief Guest Professor K. Hemachandra Reddy sir to release the proceedings of CHSN 2021.
Sir, thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Now it's our turn to show gratitude to our distinguished guests and chief guests. I request the conference chair, CHSN 2021, to felicitate our chief guest, Professor K. Hemachandra Reddy sir. I request the other dignitaries also to join the felicitation.
Between friends and equals. Beyond
Thank you, sir.
Sir, please. Thank you.
Chair, CHSN 2021 to felicitate our special guest, Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar. I request the other dignitaries to join the felicitation.
We also have the honor.
Thank you.
Sir, please, sir.
Now I request the conference chair, CHSN 2021, to felicitate Professor GBR Prasad Raju sir, Rector, JNTUK.
Sir, please, sir. Thank you.
The conference chair, CHSN 2021, to felicitate Professor Balakrishna sir, Principal JNTUK Kakinada.
Sir, please, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Professor Hemchandra Reddy sir, to felicitate our Sir Conference Chair, Professor L. Pratap Reddy sir.
Sir, please.
Thank you, sir. The conference chair, CHSN 2021, to felicitate the media partners, FM radio, Srimati Satyavati Madam, here, Sri Dulipudi Venkatramana sir.
Madam, mask. Madam, please. Sir, one. Thank you.
I welcome Sri Dulipudi Venkatramana sir from Torch Media.
Thank you for supporting this conference.
I also welcome Sri Ravi Kumar, media partner.
Sir, please, sir.
Sri Iswar Prasad sir. On behalf of Malli Reddy Fanindra, his son is going to take. Also, welcome Sri Iswar Prasad sir, media partner. Photographer, Mr. Prasad.
Sir, please, sir.
I welcome Mr. Prasad, photographer. I also welcome photographer, editor J. Kankaraju sir.
Sir, please, sir.
So we extend our thanks and support to your personalities here. Now I request Dr. Susmita to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. It's an honor to be asked to offer vote of thanks on the occasion of Second International Conference on CHSN 2021. On behalf of JNTUK Kakinada and the entire team of Sri Satyanarayana Garu, I express my gratitude to all the guests for sharing their thoughts all through the day. It also expresses thanks to the participants of today's events and all the supporting members for extending their support. I thank NABARD for their support to CHSN 2021 and also the publicational partner Springer for their support. And the last, I would like to thank press media for their support for the wide coverage. Thank you one and all.
I'd like to very heartful thank to Buddha Chandrasekhar sir. I immediately accepted sir. So meanwhile, Hemachandra Reddy sir and Pratap Reddy sir patiently, so in చెప్పడానికి ఫీలింగ్ వస్తుంది make you search successfully we meet again all the CHS scholars.
చిన్న విషయం అంటే I wish to bring to your notice.
Okay. A small issue. Actually, Satyana 2021 to maybe workshop conference ఎందుకని అనుకున్నారంటే because today is University Formation Day. So August 20th University Formation Day. So అది మ్యాచ్ చేసుకొని University Formation Day దాని గురించి కాన్ఫరెన్స్ కండక్ట్ చేద్దామని చెప్పి ఈ షెడ్యూల్ ఫిక్స్ చేశారు. బట్ ఆయన లేకపోవటం దురదృష్టం. అలాగే 75 years ప్లాటినం జూబ్లీ ఈ రెండు కనెక్షన్స్లో ఈ కాన్ఫరెన్స్ కండక్ట్ చేద్దామని చెప్పి దట్ ఈస్ హిస్ మెయిన్ ఐడియా. బట్ ఐ థ్యాంక్ యూ ఆల్ ఫర్ యువర్ నైస్ సపోర్ట్ అండ్ ఫర్ యువర్ నైస్ ప్రెజెన్స్.
సరే 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 చూడండి
I invite today's keynote speaker, Dr. Pascal Lawrence, Professor, University of Haute-Alsace, France. He received his PhD from University of Nancy, France in 1999. His research interests include QoS, wireless networks, and high-speed networks. He is author of 3 books, 3 patents, and 200 keynote talk on advanced architectures of next-generation wireless networks. Now, I invite Sir to deliver his keynote address.
All the very best.
So please share your screen.
Present now. Use enter screen. Okay. Yes. Yes, yes. Yeah, make it nicely. Yes. You are full screen now? Go to the presentation mode. It's working? No? It's working on the... Not screen. Yeah, not full screen. You change the slide. Working. Yes. So you press go to full screen. Now it's okay. No. You have full screen? No, sir. Please share the screen. Stop the presentation. Okay. Because I know beyond Sir, you click on the project now. Yeah. Okay. Now we can go. Please go ahead. So all the participants, lunch is available near this parking area. Okay. Now. Professor, please go ahead. It is visible now. Okay, I will. Please turn your camera on. That's that we can see. I will present now first the quality of service. For quality of service, you have different parameters, such as bandwidth, latency, jitter, but not all. For video application, it's more bandwidth, which is important. For most of our IP, it's more latency. Then you can see we have quality of service, class of service, we have the quality of the experience, and we have different parameters which enable to give quality. We have seen the last year that the internet was growing very quickly, and now to control network, we have
terabits which are used. We can see also more and more development of device, and we will see that Wi-Fi is more and more used, and also a big development of 3D, 4G, and 5G for the communication. Also, we can see that we have more and more 1 unit device for the other. We are using a smartphone now, which is used for voice and data, 1 unit device for voice. And we see the development of new device in the future, such as OLED screen or laser user keyboard. You can see also OLED can be used. In the future, we will have only one device, because a lot of people have a smartphone and laptop. And maybe tomorrow we'll have only one device for all. We'll see also development of WDM. On one optical fiber, you can have more than 1,000 different color of laser, only one color of laser.
Thank you so much. Thank you about
We have a lot of colors, but the paint is very important. Of course, we can have optical switching, the use of full optical switching, and it's not necessary to put on to electrical for switching. We see also development of optical fiber. Optical fiber become to be more and more closer to the final fiber to the terminal. It can be used in the future. We can see that more and more we have one unique. Initially, we use the router for routing, and now in the course of the network we are switching and routing. Then for the first packet arrive to the router, then all of the packets are only switched. Then we avoid the router bottleneck problem with this approach. And that's the approach which is used today with quality of service. Then we can find today protocols such as MPLS, eCell, RDP, DCell, which is a protocol which are used today for quality of service to core the networks. Then initially we have ETL, now we have IP over ETL, and tomorrow we have probably IP over WDM. The protocol itself will give a very good quality, but it is not scalable because for quality we should reserve bandwidth, and of course we have limited bandwidth available. It's give a very good quality, but only for small networks. For MPLS, it's another approach. The approach we add a label and the packet are no more routed and switched as it in the lab. And for give service, another approach. We have a different class of service, and if you have a congestion, only the packet with a higher priority forwarded packet with lower priority are destroyed, because then we have a hierarchy with different flow, only real-time traffic packet are transmitted. Then we can see in the development of internet, we have a new approach called telephony. We can be wireless, cellular, internet, and fixed. and we can see more and more traffic rather than wireless traffic. We can see the development of generation, the 4G voice, second G voice 10 years later, the 3G is more, the network is more for data, 4G is for data, 5G tactile internet, and 6G also tactile internet development. Then we have every 10 years we have a new generation of mobile telephone networks. We can say that for example for 4G, 5G, different protocols, LTE for 5G, UMTS for 3G and so on. Of course, quality of service is important for these networks, and we can say that each wireless network offers different quality of service. The sound is still okay? You have me? Hello? You have any question for the moment? Hello? Hello? No feedback from you? Okay, I will continue. Hope that you can hear me. Then we have different quality of service. We can see development of new devices such as radio electrical communication, infrared communication, microwave communication, and now we see the development of Wi-Fi, light fidelity, which integrate LiDAR, laser detection ranging for vehicular network. This is a development that you can see today for this aspect. We can see that for the different generation, we have HDMI frequency multiple access from 4G. Secondly, it's TDMI time division multiple access. We have a linear times of communicate. 4G we have different frequency. 3G we have code division multiple access. You can communicate at the same time with everybody. Each terminal has different code. With a 4G introduction of OFDM frequency division multiplexing, and with 5G you can see development of SCA sparse coding with integrated different technologies such as filtering OFDM, multi-use and MIMO, unnecessary LTE and non-orthogonal multiple access. We have seen also in the last year development of satellite communication with low Earth orbit, medium Earth orbit, Earth orbit with a higher frequency than today. We have a high frequency such as V-band, which go to up to 50 GHz communication. And we can see, for example, for LEO to cover the world, 50 satellites are enough to cover the world with a Skynet of 1,000 minutes. Today we see a lot of development of new satellite communication through OneWeb, Starlink, which is a SpaceX communication, which scheduled to have more than 42,000 microsatellites. Kuiper from other states propose a 5G communication that is Elon Musk with Tesla company, and Kuiper is Amazon project. Of course, you can find also Iridium, which is probably well-known LEO communication satellite. For LEO medium Earth orbit, you can find the GPS and Galileo system for the phone. Then you have altitude is 5,000 to 20,000 kilometers, and 12 satellites can cover all the Earth. For GEOs, altitude is 36,300 kilometers. It's no more used because antenna communication 1 meter diameter of antennas necessary used only today for TV. And today we can see development of picosatellites, a very small satellite, and we see the development of different projects such as the Google Loon project. You can find the Google Pro project or different drone for communication through internet all over the world without the use of antenna. Then in the we have seen the development of different technology all are based on femtocell, picocell, or small cells, microcell, or communication distance 5 to 50 to 500 meters, and microcell distance up to 10 kilometers. For all this technology, we can see for each generation we have different protocols. For 2G, we have ESL, I-95 in the US, and then we go to UMTS and WCDMA with the 3G generation. Initially, we are with the fast GPRS for 2.5G with a rate of 48 kilobits. After we have 2.75G with the H protocol with a rate of 150 kilobytes per second. After we have the 3G communication with the development of IET2K, and it's based on the UMTS project, Universal Mobile Telecommunication, which is a 3GPP project. Then we can see development with the 3G, we have a rate of 384 kilobytes, 3G. After with the 3.5G, which is a protocol used with the HSDPR, we have 4 megabytes per second for communication. With the 3.75G, we have the HSUPA with a rate of 6 megabytes per second communication. With the 4G, we arrive at 300 megabytes, and with the 5G, it can up to the standard up to gigabyte communication. Of course, tomorrow we will have 5G plus and 6G, which will offer terabyte communication. Then for all this device, we have low consumption, low latency, high reliability, high positioning system with about centimeters, no meter, and we can develop new applications such as augmented reality, virtual reality, and so on. We can see a big development of massive flow, traffic control, massive flow, connected device. We have more than 50 billion devices which are connected or more, and we try to offer an affordable and sustainable system. Between 4G and 5G, we can see development of, essentially for development of Internet of Things, of a new protocol, and especially you can see that this new device consumes less energy, low latency, lower cost, and we can see in the 5G development slice. First of all, we can have a slice for Internet of Things, another slice for virtual, another slice for voice over IP, and so on. Then we offer better quality of service, and we can see 5G is necessary for development of vehicular networks. Then 5G is based on millimeter wave technology, which provides high data speed and high capacity, and we will overrate or will be overrate over 4G and enable to have a massive video communication. For Internet of Things, also, of course, we need a 5G networks to offer to manage data extraction, to have remote maintenance, development of communication, such as for new applications which are present on 5G networks. If we are not 5G network, other protocols are used, such as SIG-box are used today. But in the future, we will see a big development of 5G and tomorrow 16 networks. We can see also development of different size of data center. You can have a cloud data center with SaaS, SaaS, or for infrastructure as a service, as a container, as a platform, as a function, or as a software. This is for big data center. Smaller are based on NIC, mobile edge controller. After smaller is based on fog. We can have router, switch, box, any kind of thing, virtual edge computer, which can be used for small controller. And very smaller is skin or mist or FEM2 data center, which can be used for virtual Wi-Fi, virtual controller, and so on. And here we can see projects such as Google Mistral, Echo, and so on. And all are based on SDN, software-defined networks, and offer software network and the more hard networks. For this protocol, we can find SDX projects such as software-defined one, SD1, CPE, Cloud Run, and so on. For Internet of Things, we can see a big development of utilization of combination of massive niveau, advanced cloud radio access networks. So we provide adequate cell coverage with a high frequency band. In here we have a massive type of communication, ultra reliable, low latency communication. And for this network, 5G is not, we have seen that the unique solution. We can see other networks. If 5G is not still available, such as LoRa, ZigBee, Sigfox, WeGig, and so on. Then 5G tactile internet will be offered also enable remote stillness delivery with low latency, high security, high availability. And we'll see also development of technologies such as eCarpizor, which virtual machine monitor. And today we use more a container approach which enables to virtualize an operating system and workload which can be run on a single operating system instance. That is for the mobile, for the different communication through mobile communication, and we have the other approach which is based on IEEE 802 standard. And we can find ISO 2015 with a wireless personal network with products such as RFID, ZigBee, Bluetooth, and so on. 802.11 with based on wireless local area network with Wi-Fi. ISO 2016 with wireless metropolitan network, which is based on WiMAX, and ISO 2022, which is wireless regional area network. Then you can see there is not one single technology, but a family of complementary technology devices. And we can see for wireless personal network, first of all, for ISO 2015, Bluetooth is still used for short communication, and ZigBee for toys, for example, but for small distance. After you have the wireless LAN through the use of Wi-Fi, and then you can see different generation, Wi-Fi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Wi-Fi 1 is 11A, Wi-Fi 2 is B, Wi-Fi, there was different generation of Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi 4 is 11N, for example. G is Wi-Fi 3. After we have other generation, 11K, RS, and so on. You can see the different generations. Wi-Fi 5 is 11EC, and Wi-Fi 6, of course, which is used today, is 11AX, which can offer rate up to 30 GB per second, and Wi-Fi 6E. And tomorrow we will see development of Wi-Fi 7. We which will offer a rate of 120 gigabytes, and the Wi-Fi 8 for the next 10 years, which will offer a rate of 1 terabit per second. You can see here the funding needs. If it is your house, either you have Wi-Fi with terabit, it's only for small distance. For large distance, you have not a large bandwidth, of course. Even WiMAX is no more used today because it has been replaced by the 4G and 5G networks. We'll see that for wireless metropolitan network, we have new networks. Then we can see that development also of 2021 is devoted for one type of network, a different type of network. We can have Wi-Fi, WiMAX, cellular networks, and we can use a complementary network technology for delivering data, which is originally targeted for cellular networks, and we have different other solutions we can use. And we can see the development of all this technology. GSM was based on ISDN, GPRS of Prambole, and now also UMTS was based on ETM, and now all is based on IP technology. All you can see for all transmission of data, voice, and so on, all is full based on full IP networks. What about the next generation of internet? We have different new protocols such as native IP, and we can see we have one unique network for wide, wireless, voice, data, and TV. New challenge for tomorrow will be a protocol which consumes less energy, such as development of a new TCP, for example. We can see introduction of intelligence in the network with development of smart, active, autonomous networks. Development of virtual internet for cloud data center, which is a virtual internet approach, with development of SDN, software-defined network, of NFV, network function virtualization, NTN, data network. We see development of course, also of Internet of Things, big data, Internet of Behavior, IoB, tomorrow. Development of new products such as software virtualization. It's a prime of consume a lot of energy that may be development of FPGA, field programming gate array, tomorrow. Then you can see initially we are moving from hardware product to software with the cloud, and tomorrow maybe a both web networks which perform any kind of mission based on cloud networking and geographically distributed data center to support smart network provisioning, security, and central orchestration and network automation. Then maybe tomorrow we'll see a Uberization of the networks, and tomorrow your provider will be Google, will be Amazon tomorrow, no more the local telephony provider. We see development of security is still important, and development of horizontal vertical slides such as virtual networks, many application of companies such as development of network for Internet of Things, or voice and IP for vehicular networks. And we have, I think, development of a governance of 5G and Wi-Fi tomorrow, because they will be offered the same bandwidth, the same quality, the same approach, and a lot of scheduled for the unique networks for tomorrow from Wi-Fi and CP networks. Of course, satellite will be very important. We can see today it's a challenge between the new Amazon satellite and Tesla satellite SpaceX. Right? Tomorrow also there will be development of connected cities to connected artificial intelligence will be more and more important in the network, and development of machine learning, digital twin will be very important in the in the future of high quality of service. Then it's time for question. We have a few minutes to respect the time constraints. A few minutes question.
Thank you, Professor. Thanks for a nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions from audience?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, you have given nice presentation, like from 4G to 5G.
Hello. Sir, coming to SD, what about the security protocols? There are a couple of issues in implementation of protocols for the SGN.
Could you repeat the question? The sound is very bad.
What are the security issues for the software-defined network?
Sorry?
What are the security issues? How to address the security issues in the software-defined networks, SDN?
For SDN, yes, software-defined networks, and it doesn't protocol from hardware approach, but based on a software approach. Initially, for example, all software which are today using the Cisco router, for example, all this information will be located, decentralized in the cloud. Then tomorrow, your network will be only a software, will be only a software network, and all intelligence will be located in the data center that will consume less energy, it will be cheaper and more reliable. Today, a lot of companies have firewall at the university as a company, and tomorrow, for example, the firewall can be located in the cloud and then consume less energy and will be a better approach to the high capacity.
Sir, is it possible to apply SDN protocols to LTE? In the LTE network, can we apply this SDN network?
Yeah, we approach this decentralized approach. We are going for decentralized approach to a centralized approach, and we all routing protocols will be located at a unique central point in the unique data center. It's better for consumption, energy, and for security. And tomorrow, maybe we can see the approach today of, for Microsoft, it proposed, or Google approach, it proposed tomorrow to have a smartphone or a laptop with no microprocessor, because in your laptop, your microprocessor is very expensive and not very used. And today, if your microprocessor is at the data center, if you have very good connection with 5G, then you can have a laptop for a few dollars, very cheap, and then with a higher quality. But what is important is to be only connected. If you lose connection, you can continue to use your laptop.
Sir, coming to LTE network, how packet delivery mechanism problems can be rectified or overcome? What are the best approaches we can apply?
Could you repeat, please? A very good, bad quality of the sound. Yes, speaking.
Network, couple of issues with delivery mechanisms, implementation protocols.
In SDN, what are the issues with the packet delivery mechanism?
Yeah, it's in SDN, the approach is the same that a decentralized approach, because all packets not going directly to the destination and go first to the cloud data center. This packet as managed. For example, to find a route today, the router find the route with the router. Tomorrow, all packets are go to the data center. The route are the data center. You try to find the route, the best destination, and after the packet go to find the destination. Then in this approach, the advantage of this approach is that all packets use a different destination, but the best solution is found by the power of the data center, because you have a high capacity in this data center.
Thank you, sir.
Any more questions? Okay, I think no more questions. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Pascal. Thank you for delivering the keynote address.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, so we'll be in touch with you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. See you. So, participants, now resume for the lunch break. Then again, the session 1 will start, session 1, session 2, session 3. Paper presentation will start at 2 o'clock. Please join. Thank you. Thank you, sir.